The Centre for Public Interest Litigation has now filed a writ petition, and this is in the Supreme Court, which is seeking a direction to the central government to appoint Justice K.M.Jospeh along with 5 other judges whose names have been reiterated by the Collegium. Remember, these were names that were sent back by the central government and then reiterated by the Collegium that these are names that need to be taken up, appointed with immediate effect. This is the next legal action now with an instruction to the central government which is being sought. We have with us our Deputy News Editor Meenakshi Banja getting us further inputs. Meenakshi, is this a sign of this issue further escalating now?
Well, Sahir, this is certainly an indication that the flashpoint of Honorable Justice K.M.Jospeh's elevation to the Supreme Court continues to remain as is. Given the fact that this petition filed by the Centre for Public Interest Litigation, or CPIL, an NGO, as it looks to illustrate the example of Justice K.M.Jospeh being the prime example as to how, in spite of the reiteration that has come in to his candidature for elevation to the Supreme Court, the clearance of the file for appointment has not yet come by. And that is why this PIL has been filed. It is seeking for the Supreme Court to pass appropriate directions to the central government to appoint Justice Jospeh and 5 other judges whose names have been reiterated by the Collegium. Viewers will recall that this has been a flashpoint between the executive and judiciary, and after the Supreme Court's Collegium has reiterated his candidature, why is there further delay is what this PIL is looking to address.
Right, Meenakshi, important to note, as you stated, not just Justice K.M.Jospeh here, there are 5 others as well, 5 other judges whose names have been reiterated by the Collegium. In what argument that the central government has put forth to shoot down all 5 recommendations?
Well, Sahir, there have been no arguments that have come by from the central government as yet, because remember, this is a plea which has just been filed in the Supreme Court. Whether the Supreme Court will even admit it is something we will wait and keep an eye out on. But we are bringing to our viewers the broad-scale flashpoint that has occurred between the executive, in this particular case, the union government, and the judiciary. And it is continuing to remain as is, and that is what is worrisome, which the PIL is also looking to highlight before the Supreme Court. The view that the government will take, or the explanation or the argument that the government has, is something one will have to keep an eye out on for, given the fact that the government has not made its mind known yet on the issue. Whether it is a bureaucratic process which is not resulting in the names not being cleared yet, we do not know. But the fact of the matter is, after the reiteration has happened from the Supreme Court, the appointments have to go through ASAP.
All right, Meenakshi, without doubt, this is going to be a very interesting argument here to hear on what justification that the central government here would have once this plea is admitted. Stay on with us, please. We have further breaking inputs here coming in. And once again, regarding the Supreme Court, and this is with respect to observations that it has made on the horrifying Kerala church rape case. Supreme Court says it is shocked over such cases that involves priests. In yet another harsh word on this nature of a case here that has come in with the Supreme Court now making its mind clear here on this. Meenakshi, take us through further inputs, please.
Well, Sahir, this is pertaining to the Kotiur rape case from Kerala. The Supreme Court was seized of a batch of pleas from various accused who were trying to impress upon the court as to why they should be discharged. And on an earlier occasion in July, the Supreme Court had remarked as to how this was, in particular, a very, very serious case. We are talking here about the Kotiur rape case. And of course, while hearing that today, the Supreme Court has gone ahead and discharged a couple of the accused from this case. But that apart, it has also come out with some very, very terse observations. It has said that, and I quote, we are shocked over such cases involving priests. Most of these are from Orthodox Orthodox churches in Kerala, and it is a disturbing trend, unquote. So these were the observations with which the Supreme Court went on to direct the former chairman of Vayanand Child Welfare Committee, Father Joseph Tekaram, and member Sister Betty Joseph, to face trial as was earlier ordered by the Kerala High Court in the Kotiyo rape case. Alongside, the Supreme Court has also discharged Sister Tessie Jose, Sister Ansi Matthew, and one person called Haider Ali from the list of the accused.
Okay.
So 3 people have been given reprieve, but for 2 others, the Supreme Court really has had no reprieve.
All right, Meenakshi Banja, our Deputy News Editor, getting us all those inputs coming in from the Supreme Court there. Many thanks.